Hey guys, what's up? This is Swordfish1390, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Persona 2 Innocent Sin on the PSP. This port is a remake of the original game on the PlayStation 1, which unfortunately never saw life outside Japan, which really does blow. However, we did receive the second part of the two-part saga, known in America as Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. But with a little bit of editing and censoring, we finally received the Innocent Sin. First, let's talk about the story, which is, in my opinion, the strongest aspect of this game. The game takes place in the fictional town of Sumaru City, Tokyo. However, those not familiar with the original Persona game don't have to worry because the games are not directly connected with each other, despite the references, for example, such as character cameos. A rumor has been going around Sumaru City of an event called the Joker game, in which a person will have his wildest dreams come true if they dial their own cell phones. However, those without ideals that dial the numbers will become lifeless shells called Shadow Men. A shadow being loses all hope and gives up on life and on himself. The silent player named protagonist, Tetsuya by default, and two of his compadres, Lisa and Akichi, try the game just for shits and giggles. When they dial, a mysterious jester-like man appears before them. He tells them that he is, in fact, the Joker himself. What's strange about his summoning is that he seems to recognize the trio, and he gets really pissed off when they don't recognize him. In a blind rage, he turns the other witnessing students into Shadow Men and starts to summon demons all around the city. It also seems, in a strange way, that any type of rumor spread throughout the city will actually become true. What I really liked about the story in this game was that there were just so many twists, so many turns all over the place. You never knew what was going to happen next. The story was also made all the more intriguing by the diverse cast of characters. They all have great personalities, excellent chemistry between each other, and they're just simply easy to relate to, especially since I'm their age, I'm a teenager, and so are they. For example, Tatsuya is the solid main character whose personality is shaped through your actions and dialogue choices. Akichi is a wannabe musician and former gang leader who's also pretty hilarious. Lisa is a white chick that likes kung fu and speaks Japanese just for the hell of it. Can anyone guess who she's similar to? Yep, thought so. Thought you would get it. Chie from Persona 4 is definitely inspired by Lisa Silverman. Except the only difference between Lisa and Chie is that Lisa is not obsessed with steak and she's hotter. Maya is a journalist who works for a magazine studio and always tries to think positive and always tries to make everyone smile. And apparently likes to wear a shirt that has hearts on her tits. But I think you can see what I mean when I say that these realistic modern-day characters are easy to relate to and definitely fit the game's modern setting. And there are also a few cameo appearances from the first Persona game, such as Yukino and Nanjo. The game also has plenty of story scenes to draw you in, so it's not like you're going to wander around a dungeon for like 3 fucking hours and get a little story in exchange. Nocturne. Sorry about that. So to sum up the story, thumbs up, great story, Atlas. This is a Persona game. You know, what did you expect? The story is just incredibly dark, mature. The dialogue is definitely something you would expect in real life. So, Atlas, props. You're awesome.
Teacher?
Tough love must be applied to delinquent students. I'll teach you the dignity and authority of a proper principal.
And sadly, this is where Persona 2 starts to show its age. From the stiff character models to the bland environments to the flat battle animations, the game's visuals are poor at best. While the character models are somewhat cute, I guess, and show a small hint of watercolor, it doesn't change the fact that the game really looks like crap. The game also has some loading issues. Entering and exiting rooms takes about 3 to 5 seconds each, and battles can take upwards of 5 to even 7 seconds of loading. What the hell? What were they doing when they made this? But you know what, while loading times aren't as bad as by using the data install feature, it doesn't change the fact that the game's loading issues, while not hindering the game, are still bothersome. But you know what, if I can sit down, play, and enjoy The Last Remnant, which is so fucking glitchy and laggy that it's ridiculous, I think I can survive this game, and any game as a matter of fact, with loading issues. Same thing with you guys. But you know what, to describe the graphics in a few words, crap ass.
I'm Deathbringer! I am Radamanthus, the judge of the Netherworld. I shall sever your foes' sins with my blade of judgment.
Seriously?
Okay, the sound department is where the game starts to falter just a little bit. On one hand, the music is good. There is an option for you to go to the config screen to change between the original soundtrack and the remix soundtrack. The remix soundtrack is great, in my opinion, and easily kicks the original one's ass. I can't help but think that they used the remix soundtrack to stay true to the original, or if it was just laziness, not to make an entirely new soundtrack. I would have preferred a new soundtrack entirely with Joji Meguro's cool, trademark, vocal J-pop songs, with the option to switch between that, the remix soundtrack, and the original for the fans. I guess it really doesn't matter, because the music is really awesome. But the thing is, the voice acting is average at best. Although there are very few scenes that feature voice acting, it's really not anything special. There are tons of battle cries which sound a lot more natural, but I wish there was more voice acting with better voice actors. But, what are you going to do? The sound is decent at best. Okay, Persona 2 is an all-out dungeon crawler. For those of you who are familiar with Persona 3 and 4, this game is nothing like those games. No social links, no nighttime grind fests, none of that. This game is dungeon crawling all the way. Combat and story is where it's at in this game. What's better about Persona 2 than its predecessor, Persona 1, is that it doesn't use that stupid first-person dungeon crawling bullshit. It's easy to navigate the dungeons in this game. Persona 2, like all the games in the series, is a turn-based battle system. You select your character's actions through a menu, and when you're done, you sit back and watch them fly. But micromanaging 5 characters at a time can be annoying, right? Well, that's where the new auto battle feature comes in. By selecting auto battle during combat, you have 2 options, attack and replay. What do these mean? Well, attack means that all of your characters will normal attack the enemy, while replay means that it will carry out all of the character's actions, previously selected actions, I should say. Auto battle can be initiated with a simple attack of the triangle button. It's a really handy feature, and it saves a lot of time and effort. You can also adjust the turn order of your characters, which is also a cool and strategic system. For example, oh no, Tatsuya needs help. His HP is low. His turn comes up next, but he isn't using a healing persona. I don't have any items in my inventory to heal. I also can't wait for the next for me because it's the enemy's turn after Tatsuya. Well, this is where turn order changing comes in. Tatsuya needs healing? No problem. Select turn order, click on Tatsuya's name, and swap his turn with Maya so she can go right away and use Dia on him. The battle system doesn't use the one more feature like 3 and 4 did also. If you hit the enemy with a critical hit and hit the little bastard with an attack that they're weak against, it just doubles the damage you do. Nothing more. But the turn order change feature definitely makes up for that. Also new to Persona, new from the original that is the fusion spell system. If 2 or more characters are using personas that have certain skills, for example, 2 characters may have the skill Agi, and that will create Agilao. Those characters can participate in a powerful cooperative attack. To help move battles quicker, Atlas was generous enough to add a skip option where you can press the start button before you start the turn queue to skip all the persona summoning animations and just watch the numbers fly out. You could probably already tell that the battle system, while simple, is incredibly deep, and it's just fun as hell. What's bad about the gameplay, though, is the terrible random fucking encounter rate. Now, to be fair, it isn't nearly as bad as Persona 1 on the PSP, but it's still so goddamn fucking annoying that it just starts to boggle your nerves after climbing through a dungeon for a bajillion hours. But anyway, that aside, Persona 2 wouldn't be a Persona game without fusion, and this game doesn't have that. Rather than combining 2 personas to make a new one, there's a list of all the major arcana. It also displays all the personas associated with that arcana. To summon a persona from the Velvet Room, you need to be at a certain level, and you'll also need a certain number of tarot cards that pertain to that arcana. For instance, you may need 20 cards of the Magician Arcana to summon Jack Frost. How do you get these cards? It's simple. Well, kinda. When you enter a battle, you can actually choose to talk to a demon rather than fight it. Like personas, each demon is associated with a type of arcana. Talking to a demon is where the famous SMT trademark negotiations come in. So there are 5 playable characters in the game, and each has 4 different negotiation abilities. For instance, Lisa can seduce her enemies, Maya can complement the monster, and so on. Using one of these abilities has an effect on one of the 4 emotions of the demon: interest, happiness, fear, and anger. If one of these traits are triggered 3 times, an event will occur. Making a demon scared will cause it to run away from you, an angry demon will attack you, an interested demon will hand you some tarot cards, and a happy demon will ask to form a pact with you. Obviously, happiness and interest should take priority. Talking to a demon that you have made a pact with and raising its interest level will give tarot cards and also blank tarot cards. You can use these blank tarot cards to talk to the demon artist in the Velvet Room to make any tarot cards you want to save you the hassle of talking to the same demons over and over. Persona summoning system is pretty cool and definitely adds depth, but it can be a chore chasing around the same demons to get cards from them. To add insult to injury, it can be very difficult to read the personalities of the demons because everything you say seems to make the demon mad. The demon may ask, what are video games? And you respond with data on a disc. His response will be, you're lying! Well, what the fuck do you want me to say? Am I secretly thinking, haha, video games aren't really data on a disc? Seriously, Jesus Christ. But, I mean, this is kind of out there compared to what I was just saying. But also, it's different from 3 and 4 because every character in this game can change a persona. So I thought that was just mentioning. One final gameplay element is the rumor mechanic. By gathering information from the city folk and rumor mongers, you can obtain information that can be spread as a rumor. When a rumor is spread, it will come true. Things such as the owner at the local ramen shop is an ex-spy and sells weapons are all part of the package and make for some interesting ideas. While the gameplay can be tedious at times, it's all very deep and can be pretty entertaining. So I give gameplay a thumbs up. Persona 2 Innocent Sin on the PSP is a very solid game with a great story and good gameplay. You really can't ask for more here, but if dated visuals and tedious random battles might scare you away, then you probably won't enjoy this game. Before I wrap this up, I thought I have to get something out there. This technically is a remake, but to me it actually felt like it was more of a report from one console to another. The only changes I could tell from Innocent Sin on the PSP to the PS1 is the interface looks different and it has different voice actors and it has remixed music. That's it. I really can't tell anything else. Now, to be fair, I haven't played Innocent Sin on the PS1 because we never got it. But it's just that's what it feels like. I think. Let me just compare real quick. Persona 2 is better than Persona 1 by a landslide. Way better in every possible way. But I'd say Persona 1 on the PSP is the better remake to its original counterpart, if that makes any sense. The original one had like beautiful anime / somewhat cel shaded cutscenes, amazing voice acting, and the music was completely original. It was great. I just wish Persona 2 Innocence on the PSP had more love and attention than that. Persona 2 Innocent Sin would have benefited from great voice actors. I don't know, say they have to go through drastic things like anime cutscenes, but Persona 1 did it. Why can't Persona 2 do it? And here, I have a clip for you. I'm going to show you really quick of a cutscene from Persona 1.
I do hope it's nothing serious. Damn it. An earthquake? Whoa, it's a big one!
The hell? Hold on!
It seems to have subsided. Maki! Whoa! What the hell? Where'd the room go? What? How was that? No, I was positive that was the ICU a moment ago. Huh? That scream! It came from downstairs! Let's go!
So that was an anime cutscene from Persona 1. As you just saw, you see how much time and effort that game got rather than this PSP port. Regardless, Persona 2 Innocent Sin on the PSP is a very great game. Therefore, despite some of its faults, I award Persona 2 Innocent Sin an 8.8 out of 10. This is it for me. I'm Swordfish1390. Hope you enjoyed the review. Peace.